are live.
Well, technically not live because this is a recording.
No, we're live.
That we're not live.
No, we're live.
We're live right now.
We're live right now.
Okay.
Just not to the people listening.
I don't know if this is going to be
Maybe the
loud enough,
person
but I can
listening.
boost it somehow.
Very good. It seems like I have a really loud voice compared to...
No, not really. See? My green line's just as high as your green line. Thank you for tuning in. You don't exist. Welcome, everybody, to the Grumpy Young Man podcast. Technically, it's episode, 9, but this is a...
Three, come on.
Is it 3?
It'll be 3.
It's only 3.
The rest are just...
Oh. The rest is just Jordan didn't want us to air him talking about how long his wiener was.
You never even sent it to me. I was going to listen to it. You didn't even send it.
And he didn't do that.
Why didn't you send it to me?
Because I didn't edit it, because
Just send it to me, and then maybe you don't need to edit it.
you're going to need to be like
You know
that,
what
though.
really grinds my gears?
No.
When you guys
Don't
argue.
do that. Don't do that.
Just joking.
All right, so I sent one topic in our WhatsApp group, and you sent back 900 that you wanted to talk about.
I know, but I don't have my topics with me.
Where's your phone?
It's over there. I'll go get it.
Okay.
I read it. It sounded good to me. I just didn't do any reading on the subjects.
I got something I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
It's only for a local person.
Saturated fats.
That's
That's what Chris wants to talk about.
later. That's later. But
Well, it looks like we got enough of that around.
are you calling me fat? I'm wearing a shirt that references athletic activity.
Yeah.
Okay. I have all of them here now.
I want to talk about parking spots. This is the worst podcast in the world.
Local parking, Northern Alberta.
Northern
isolated.
Alberta. Not only local parking, but the inability to find specific pieces of electronics, I think, is also really frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. So Apple, in all of their wisdom, decided to get rid of their.
Plug-in jack headphones. That time of Jiggy?
No, not even headphone jacks.
Why are you so old?
That thing that's on the phone that you connects to your head.
No. It's for the. So we're recording the audio on my old laptop, my old MacBook Pro, but I have a new MacBook Pro.
So now you need a firebolt to thunder wire or
So
something.
technically,
What is
we're
it?
technocrats here.
A FireWire to Thunderbolt cable.
Right. Guess how many of those are in Fort McMurray?
Well, just the adapter. It's literally 6-inch. Yeah, 0. We went to the source. I tried to call Campbell's Music, and I went to Fort McMurray TV, which isn't open until 10. What Monday?
Banker's hours right there.
No, Baker's hours are 9, aren't they?
I think that's a.
Well, they are now.
I think it's
Actually,
like
banks are open every
post-fire
day, but-
consequences there. A lot of the business is still not back to normal hours.
I guess. Actually, yeah. Brood Awakenings in the River City Center, their store is still empty. They're still dealing with insurance.
I never even heard of that store.
They're just
Unless you have a doctor's appointment, you have no
Reason to go in
business
there.
in that mall.
No.
Yeah, I was in there for
There's
several doctor
15
appointments. I've never known.
doctors' clinics and then a few other stores.
At first, I thought it was in another brewery.
It's like a hospital.
beer place.
Oh, no.
But
No, that we can barely keep the 2 we have going right now. Actually, we only have 1 local brewery. But yeah, and then I bought a new car so I could fit in a parking spot, but just barely. And everybody was parked on the line, one of the lines.
Yeah.
And even if there was nobody next to them, one of the lines. I don't get it.
What about the mega cab, big jacked up Dodge truck that takes 2 parking spaces? It parks right on the line every time. It takes 2, and it still doesn't even fit because it's halfway out into the drive
Because they have dualies with axle extenders on them.
for going to get groceries.
Yeah.
That's the grocery getter.
Yeah.
I think when they built the parking lot up here, everyone was driving Datsun 280s or something, two whatever they're
Or
calling
like-
these. I don't know.
A Lada.
Yeah, or a Lemon.
What?
It's a really crappy French car, okay? Lemon or Lemon. You guys never heard of that?
Rhino?
Or, not a Renault.
Are you trying to speak French right now?
Wait, poo poo.
No, it's called a limon, which is French for lemon. So that's why I called it lemon, because I'm not French.
Are you
It's
sure?
a real thing. It's a real thing.
Sure it is. I
Sure it
believe
is.
you.
It's real.
Sure it is. Speaking of
Whatever.
cars, when I was at Ford getting my new vehicular device, I was talking to the salesman, and are you done?
Sorry.
You got stuff on your beard.
Do I?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's white.
Ew.
Oh, you should have washed your face before you came here.
I actually showered, so if that's still in there.
There's old residue from days and days of white crust in your goatee.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
I
Okay.
had so much respect for you that it just went out the window.
You had respect for me since when?
It was a joke.
It was a long time ago.
You know me. You know me.
Okay, so what did Ford tell you?
Oh yeah. So anyway, because like they have the new GT 350s in the Mustangs. Mm-hmm. Flat plane crank V8 revs to 8,200 RPM.
Go on.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Well, come you didn't get that?
Yeah,
Put
that's
your
way-
two kids in the
way
car seats in the
better
back
than
of
you.
that.
My children have
Be a man.
legs. I don't know why they put seats in the back. I sat in it and my knees were up by my head, and the back seat only had this much. Like if you put it in position, it'd be fine. But unless my children, I saw their legs off, they wouldn't fit in the back seat.
That's why if you want a sports car,
You know, it's
but have a family,
always image and coolness before practicality.
BMW
comfort.
M3 or C63
No.
AMG.
Subaru STI, 4 doors.
C60 what?
C63 AMG.
That's what I want.
Subaru STI, 4 doors.
Not the new ones though. They're tiny in the back.
That's why 2007.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what Subaru did, but they should just make all their cars look like the 2007.
You know,
should.
maybe
The
if you
Hawkeye
didn't eat so
is
much saturated
in-
fat, you'd be able to sit in the back of that thing.
No,
right?
it's not saturated fat.
I'm going to cut my saturated fat off and force feed it to you.
yummy. As long as you fry it first. I want to get rid of them. I want it crispy.
Yeah.
It's like scrunchions, like fried pork fat.
Terrible.
So anyway, yeah. So they sell them mostly in like May and June. Like that's when they sell these sports
Of
cars.
course, yeah.
And there's nobody here, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have an abundance of these.
Nice.
Next summer, on sale.
So hint, hint, Mr. Businessman. Let's flip them. We'll buy them for it, and then wait till the high season, and then sell it for a profit.
They're not on sale now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Whenever they do come on sale.
Yeah,
honestly, I would like Google flipping brand new cars.
Yeah.
I feel as if that's not a profitable
No.
enterprise.
I have heard of something similar with supercars buying
Maybe supercars.
Yeah. Like if you buy a Lycan Hypersport over here, like somebody would pay a premium because you just.
You can't get it.
Do you
Maybe.
know what that is?
No.
In Fast 7, that's the bulletproof car that they drove through like 19 buildings.
Oh, because I've always wanted to do that.
And,
Just in case, you're
just in case you're being attacked by Jason Statham, you need a bulletproof car.
to drive off the top level of a parking garage.
Oh, you know what? How come Jason Statham isn't a superhero yet in a Marvel movie?
I don't know because he'd be the best.
He should
would
be.
He really should be.
And it's Statham.
Statham.
What I always all call him Statham.
I mean, technically, if you're using a Cockney accent, it could be.
Yeah, that's the cock always gets in the way.
Speaking of Marvel, does it drive you insane that they don't like? I don't know. I'm spoiled by Netflix, so you guys know.
I want to binge watch everything.
You want to binge watch everything, and Marvel has like movies planned out till 2030. I'm like, just make them all next year so I can watch them and get it done with.
It's the same reason that Nintendo and every other gaming platform going back right from the 80s don't just put out the best thing they have with the available technology. They always go in stages. It's profit at every stage.
Well, it's the same thing with cars. Like, you mean to tell me you can buy a Porsche Boxster this year that has the same engine, same output, but every year it has 10 more horsepower?
10 more.
Yeah, like exactly. And like between the Boxster, which is the smallest, and the 911, there's the Cayman, and it fits perfectly. Like it's directly in the middle, price wise, power wise, everything. It's like that's just engineering.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I can't blame
Nothing
it.
changed.
You can't blame
they
a
like
company.
tighten a few screws and that's their go. Next
Yeah,
year's
like
model.
so we're just gonna turn this one, and now we got 10 more horsepower. But in German.
Was ist los mit deinem Kopf? Wie geht's?
What is that?
German.
You can do German
Did you
and
swear?
a Chinese accent.
That was not swearing.
Real linguist over there.
Yeah. Not really.
Linguist.
I can say Das Spatz ist sehr kleiner, which
Hail Hitler.
no, technically the direct translation is your sparrow is small. I'll let you guys figure out what sparrow is.
Your bird is small.
Your
by.
bird is
Your
small
bird is
by.
small.
No, your Newfie accent is going mainlander now.
Oh, it's not even real anymore. No, it left too long ago.
You're like, your bird is small, bye.
I'm just trying to get back to my roots, and it doesn't work. It got beat out of me in high school. I left Newfoundland. I started high school in Ontario, and it was after I ask a question. Grade 10, I put up my hand real polite and ask this big long question about some scientific thing we're learning biology, and the teacher would look at me, nod his head for 5 minutes, and smile, and at the end he'd go, "Pardon?" Never mind, bye. Never mind,
bye. Yeah.
Me son.
I know. I somebody was live streaming something on my Facebook, like that I hung out with a lot when I was a kid, and when they started talking, it was mind-boggling that's what I sounded like.
Yeah.
Because I sounded exactly like them.
I can't help but laugh now. I mean, it's my heritage, but I can't help but laugh at it.
Your
time.
heritage?
Heritage.
What is that?
I was at Gymnation.
Did you spend some time in Eastern Europe we don't know about?
A couple days ago? I was talking to the front desk staff, and I said the word barn, and she's like, right away, she's like, "Where you from?"
Barn.
I'm like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "I'm from Ontario." She's like, "Oh, because you said barn." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm originally from Newfoundland."
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Didn't you mean born? Oh, hooky there, guy. Born. I used to torment my wife when we first got married that's what she sounded like.
She never had a Newfie accent, though.
No, she's from St. Catharines.
Yeah, that's Ontario. I guess they have an accent, too, don't
Yeah, that's I over-exaggerated a middle of Canada accent.
Exaggerated?
Central
Exaggerated?
That's what you said.
What's in this coffee? What'd you guys
Sweetener. Splenda. I think it's
Splenda.
sweetener, right?
do? Oh, it's going to my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's poison. It's basically worse than sugar, according to everybody in the world.
Yeah, but it's
Or myself. I do not believe that at all.
I don't either.
either.
You know, the thing is, sugar has proven recorded health problems, health
Yeah.
effects that negatively affects your body.
Yeah.
But what recorded, proven, Splenda or any other artificial sweetener?
And people are going to say I'm bro sciencing here, but I'm not. You have to use a lot less Splenda. A lot less to get the same sweetness as like the same sweetness level that you would for sugar. Like if you have, 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar, you got to use like half of a packet of Splenda.
Which is part of the reason why if I'm going for like a Monster drink, it's 0.
Yeah.
Or like Coke 0. If I'm going to go for any kind of carbonated drink, it's always going to be 0 calories, 0 sugar. I'd rather have the cancer-causing, brain-damaging artificial sweetener than the real.
I mean,
thing.
unless you're drinking 9 of them a day or like 10 cans of Coke, Diet Coke a day, it's not.
Even then, compare 9 or 10 cans of Coke with real sugar or the Coke 0 and see who got the worst health effects.
That kind of ties.
That's a good point.
I mean, it ties in nicely too to what I want to talk about with fat, and like inflammation is key to a lot of like health issues like in the body, like just like random inflammation, and then cells can get cut off and damaged, and then you get
Especially after a midlife circumcision. It's a big deal.
Okay.
That's more than a cell getting cut off, though.
Yeah, that's
several million cells.
That's most of my genitals. Guaranteed.
The majority of my genitals.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed they're going to mess up. Like, he's going to fall asleep halfway through and just be like, whooshing, and all of it is going.
We got to sew that thing back on before he wakes up.
Yeah. Why is it backwards? Is this a new thing? I like it.
Anyway, you were making a point about something?
Yeah, anyway, so
Inflammation.
That's where it went.
So I've been doing a lot of research into like ketogenic diets, like fat heavy diets, like 75% of your diet is fat.
Saturated fat.
Not just fat
All
in
fats.
general, right? Except for like trans fats and then
The man-made
like
ones.
manufactured fats like canola oil, sunflower oil. They're manufactured versus cold press oils like coconut oil where you just press it out. Olive oil, they're 2 good ones. But
You know what's fun with coconut oil is it solidifies at a pretty
low.
I can't talk. It liquefies
Yeah.
at a pretty low temperature.
Yeah.
So like if it gets a little bit warm in your house, suddenly you have like this jar of liquid.
Like it's a 2-liter jug of oil.
Yeah, I actually have a jar of coconut oil.
You can
and
get it.
I really enjoy it.
You can get it pre-liquefied. Now, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. It just says coconut oil on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's.
The nice thing about coconut oil is when you cook with it, everything tastes like coconuts, and it's
Or
delicious.
it's nice and sweet. Like
It's
it's
like
just,
it is.
it's
oh,
nice.
it's so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I was talking to a guy. He was at the gym, and
I'll just turn it so you can be comfortable.
he's at 10% body fat, and he looked fantastic. And so I was talking to him a little bit about, what is he doing to get down to that percentage of body fat? And he's carb cycling. So he shows me all the equations and how he figures it all out. But coconut oil was a big staple in that diet because, on your low carb day, which was like 75 carbs or 50 grams of carbs in a day.
Yeah. So you're almost
no
if you
carbs.
kept that up, you could pretty much get into ketosis state.
Yeah, so coconut oil was one of the major components of his fat diet. And I said to him, I was like, what if I ate nothing but egg whites, 100% protein, and coconut oil, 100% fat with no carbs? It wouldn't take me long to cut then, would it? He's like, no, you could do it, but for a short amount of time.
Well, people say you need it for energy, but you don't because naturally your body creates ketones. But this is the funny thing. Even slow digesting carbohydrates like sweet potato or anything,
Beans, lentils, that sounds...
Yeah, when it breaks down in your body, it's sugar. So it reacts the same as sugar, whether it's raw sugar or whatever. So your brain feeds off that. Your brain takes 25% of your energy to operate.
Yours is more like 15.
Yeah, I know. It's plummeting every day.
That's why I crave carbs so much, because my brain is working so hard.
It's so hard. You're sitting there in your room waiting for the phone to ring.
No respect. No respect.
So you're saying you don't need it? You don't need carbs?
You do not need carbohydrates at all.
But slow carbs is
Ever in your-
carbohydrates.
in your
If you're
entire
eating
life.
beans-
I'm just saying, so, but they react in the body. They still cause inflammation. So the good carbs still cause inflammation in your body.
So what you're saying is technically our bodies do not require carbohydrates.
Not at all.
I don't believe that. I think that's
Sustainably.
all
No,
science.
it's not.
Are you
That's
saying-
heavily researched.
Are you saying that sustainably a man could live for years with zero carbohydrates?
Yeah, there was a study done recently by a guy who went up into the Arctic and all he ate was whale fat and the organs from the whale, like you would.
So protein and fats.
Protein and fats.
That's
That's
true,
it.
actually. How would the Eskimos make carbohydrates?
So he got back from his exploration. He went and got his blood work done, and his blood work was perfect. Like it
Really?
was every vitamin he needed. It was perfect.
There's a lot of vegans out there who just turned off our
Yeah, I don't
podcast,
care. This
okay?
is so they did not believe him. Just go eat some trees. They didn't believe him at all.
That's my food's food. I don't appreciate you eating it.
And you know,
Trees have
whatever you want to
feelings
do,
too,
you
you
can
know.
do, and that's fine. But so they did this. So when they came back, they're like, no, you were eating carbohydrates. You had to have been eating. He's like, nope. So he volunteered to live in an insane asylum and be isolated, and they fed him his exact diet that he said he ate for that year for another year. So this is 2 full years on just whale innards and blubber.
The same amount?
Same amount. And
Wouldn't he gain weight if he was in a warm
Can I
environment?
ask a question?
versus-
Can I just ask a question? So a guy moves to the Arctic
he's a
For
scientist,
a
like
year.
he was exploring or
for
whatever.
a year,
Yeah,
by himself,
yeah.
and he caught a whale
No,
and
no,
ate a whale.
he lived with the Inuit people.
Yeah,
How does he catch a whale
by himself.
Yeah,
Would he
wa-
just dig a little hole in the ice and
He
went
wasn't
fishing
by
one day?
himself. He lived with the Inuit people
Okay,
out there.
okay,
So
that-
he was doing research on something. I'm very
Right.
vague about this, and I apologize.
Yeah.
But so he ate the same diet. I don't
How
know.
did he get it through the little hole?
Yeah.
He's like Santa Claus to a chimney.
Well, I'm pretty sure if we three went up there, we'd have like a hammer and a pack of matches. We were like, okay.
in a handsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guys are over there just dropping rocks in the ice and making big old holes. They're done in like 35 seconds. 6 years later, we're dead.
I would kill
So-
with a paintball gun.
So
So I actually, you know what? I just thought of the reason that he probably survived up there was due to global warming and the increase in carbon
Right.
taxes
He was actually-
around the world.
Exactly.
The carbon tax money is actually taken and given to people who live up there to help them
yeah,
with
and
their
he was
problems
basically
with the
sitting on a
ice.
beach up there.
Really? Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not even joking right now.
What?
You're not even joking right now?
No,
No, I'm
he's
totally
being.
joking.
Do you not pick up on sarcasm well?
Not his sarcasm, apparently. I'm like, is this for real? I believe it. With our government today, I would believe it.
It's yeah. Let's just give it away to people. But basically, they fed him the same diet. Now, whether it was just as much, because he wouldn't need as many calories sitting in an asylum, obviously.
No.
But they fed him
Right.
the same diet, the same,
Okay.
and they did his blood work again, and it was perfect.
Wow.
His LDL and
Can I ask
HDL
a question?
cholesterol was perfectly balanced.
Why did he have to do this in an insane asylum?
Well, he just it was a mental hospital. So whether
Right.
I don't know if he was in a padded room, but
Okay.
I'm just saying It was in maybe a fourth floor of a hospital.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
They obviously weren't doing other tests on him, like mentally or emotionally, because that got to take a toll. Living isolated for a whole year in a
Like
mental institution.
he was allowed to like see people, but he basically stayed there so they could control his diet.
So this experiment then has proven that humans can live without
And it's not just that. Like, our bodies naturally create the liver after no carbohydrates, after it's empty of carbohydrates, starts to create ketones. That's what ketogenic comes from. And these ketones your body can use very efficiently for energy.
What is a ketone?
You know what's funny is actually after you told me about the ketones and the ketotonic diet, ketogenic, whatever,
ketotonic. Sounds
Is
like
it sarcasm again, or is this something else?
This is a true story.
you can't decipher it or what?
So
No, just being
weeks after you mentioned that, somebody came up to me and they're like, "Hey, have you ever heard of like ketones and like the effects that they and like what they can do for your body?" And I'm like, kind of, but I don't really know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, we've got these pills, and there's like a network marketing company now that sells.
Oh, exogenous ketones? Yeah.
Network marketing companies will sell anything, any new fad.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
boom,
I'm
start
sorry,
selling.
guys. What is a ketone?
I'm not exactly
Ketone
sure.
is
but
when you like hit the piano and it's like
That's what it sounds like to me.
But basically, your liver creates these enzymes that your body and your brain can use very efficiently for energy, and there's no waste, and there's no insulin spikes in your body that triggers your body to store fat. So if you're eating within your caloric needs, your body will not store the fat because there's very little excess. There's no ups and downs in your blood sugar. And studies show also that if you're eating, there's like good fats. So even animal fats are fine. Whether people demonize them, they are fine if you are not eating in excess of carbohydrates as well. So that way your body cannot deal with all of the excess energy, so then you're going to be storing the fat, and we know fat is more calorie dense, so if you're eating a lot of fat and a lot of carbs, you will then store the fat on your body.
So what you're saying is that next year, next to the Atkins diet and next to, living a gluten-free life, we're going to see how to survive and look great on only a whale.
The difference between
go whale hunting.
the difference between the Atkins diet versus like a ketogenic diet, like a balanced approach, is the Atkins diet was just eat as much protein as you want, but protein can also cause insulin spikes in your body and cause you to store fat. So that's why it's limited to the 25% and the 75% fat. And whether you we all work out, there's a pro bodybuilder.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, whatever. We did deadlifts yesterday.
I'm gonna sit on you in a second here.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
A pro bodybuilder is 275 pounds, and all he eats is fat and protein.
How can protein spike your insulin or store as fat? It can't.
No,
store as
protein
fat.
doesn't store as fat.
What you just said
But
about protein.
it can spike your insulin, but then your body stores the energy. But yeah, the protein, it can be stored as fat. The way it breaks down in your body is it can cause an insulin.
I feel like we just had a Dave Chappelle moment right there. Like, protein cannot be stored as fat. Yeah, protein can be stored as fat.
I don't believe that. From what I've read, protein can't be stored as fat.
Yes,
Carbohydrate
it can.
does.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, it must be very, very small amounts.
No. So basically, it's like 1/3 of the insulin spike that carbohydrates cause. But that's why protein and carbs after a workout are great if your body is using that for fuel to restore your energy. If your body's using ketones, it uses the ketones to transfer the protein into your muscles. It uses it basically the same way you use carbohydrates.
So many big words so fast there that I'm just saying, okay, fine.
Stop using your school words and use normal people words so we can understand what you're talking about.
Basically, you do not need carbohydrates to live.
Okay, so how long before you stop craving carbohydrates?
So basically, usually there's a period
Never.
of. I mean, yeah, you will.
Even the guy who sat for 2 years eating whale fat, I guarantee it was
dreaming about bread every night.
Yeah, he could have, but you only dream about it because one, there's a gut bacteria imbalance in your body, and this can send signals to your brain because these bad gut bacteria crave sugary, carby foods. So that's why a lot of people have a lot. If depending on your gut flora, you can have a lot more cravings than other people for sugary,
basically
carby
there are
food.
parasites living in your stomach.
They're aliens
that want carbohydrates, and they link up with your brain and tell your brain that you want carbohydrates so that they get them.
They're hijacking you.
They are. It's crazy. It's literally like aliens are in your body.
Do they die off eventually and
Yes.
stop craving it?
So if you're eating the fatty foods and you're eating a ketogenic diet,
Really, they're like kids. They're like little kids inside your stomach that are like, we want sugar, we want bad food. They'll still survive if you're not giving it to them. They'll actually probably grow and become healthy. But
yeah, like your gut flora will change, but they're not children.
So do you have...
I totally stopped listening to you after like 10 seconds of that. So basically, it takes 3 to 5 days for your body to stop wanting carb, because the carbohydrates and sugar trigger the same pleasure centers in your brain, and this is proven as a lot of like narcotic type drugs like heroin and stuff.
I heard somebody
sugar is
say
addictive.
once, and I don't know
Yeah.
who it was. I could never tell you the quote, but that if people knew back then what they know today about refined sugar, it would have been banned. It would have been a controlled substance like cocaine is.
Well, I mean, for the past 30 or 40 years, or 50 years, we've been operating on a hypothesis that fat is bad for you. Never proven. And then there was a huge study done back in the 60s, and the documents were just leaked a couple months ago, that the sugar industry paid off Congress in the States, this is a fact, to say that fat is bad and sugar is good.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is just the name fat actually makes you think that it's bad.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's like fat doesn't make you fat.
No, it doesn't. Anything excess makes you fat.
Carbohydrates and protein that make you fat.
Do you think that that connection between fat making you fat comes from that, a fat, what is it? A gram of fat is 9 calories versus protein and carbs is a gram of that is only 4. So is more calorically dense. So because you can overeat on fat easier, it can make you fat.
I mean, it could be, right? So like when you look at a traditional bodybuilding diet, it's 40% carbs, 20% fat, 40% protein. And that's fine. Like people can completely live. There's nothing wrong with it. But there's a lot of health benefits from ketogenic diets. Like if you have problems with inflammation in your body, like if you get
like gout or something
like that, like inflammation in your joints or whatever. The doctor I was listening to on a podcast, she could barely walk after a car crash due to chronic inflammation in her body. She had a lot of pain. She went on a ketogenic diet, and now she couldn't even walk. Now she's up walking around. And this was a year after the accident, and within I think she said she was going to do it for 90 days. Even before the 90-day period was up, she was up walking around.
Whale fat saved her life.
So
or avocados.
Please consult a physician before taking any diet advice.
So what is the best whale to eat? I mean, is sperm whale the best one to eat?
I'm pretty sure we're hung up on whale
For
here.
you it is.
And how do we get it all the way up to Fort McMurray? I mean, on the back of a big truck that carries the truck?
No, we just drive straight through the woods, and then we drag it back like men.
Now you're talking. We won't even need to exercise after that.
No, we'll just be so jacked, eating fat the whole way back. But back to your original question, Jordan, I've been trying to answer for 20 years.
I forget my original question.
It takes about 3 to 5 days to get into ketosis. Okay. You do have withdrawal symptoms from sugar, but people who are on the diet report, especially if you do it right, so you balance your macros, your 2 macronutrients, you're allowed around 20 to 25 grams of carbs a day. So if you're looking for a little bit of that refuel after a workout, you can have like a post-workout carb, and they're around 30 grams.
Or like a few baby carrots or something.
Well, no.
Sugar and baby carrots.
So, but...
what?
Sugar and baby carrots?
There's so much sugar in baby carrots.
Are you high?
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Baby carrots are basically sugar.
It doesn't matter because I don't eat vegetables anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like vegetables are so low in calories and stuff that you can literally...
I think most vegetables are by nature negative. What are they called? Negative calories?
Yeah.
Like your body...
So much fiber in them to break it down.
For you to get 25 grams of carbohydrates from like a cucumber, you'd have to eat like 100 cucumbers.
Yeah.
So like it's a good incentive.
Turn it off chewing.
It's a good incentive for you if you're on
pooping.
It's a good incentive if you're on this diet to eat lots of vegetables because it makes you feel full, and because fat doesn't cause insulin spikes all the time, you don't get that high and low. You're very steady in your kind of blood sugar. And you don't get the cravings for food.
How much ranch dressing, though, can you eat on this keto diet?
Well, it depends on how many carbs are in the ranch dressing. I'm not an expert on it. This is what I've been reading about. This is what I've been... I'm not going to do it.
Are you going to do it?
Not right now because I'm sitting in a haul truck and I have to eat cold meat all the time, and I'm not doing that. But the minute I'm able to get out of a haul truck,
There's
that's
a
what I'm
joke
doing.
there somewhere, but I
Cold meat. all
Cold
the
meat.
time.
Okay, anybody else? I mean, we're already at 30 minutes, but I'm not really done yet. So
30 minutes on fat.
no,
Yeah.
we talked about. What else did we talk about?
Parking.
Whales?
Parking, whales
I want to go ice fishing for whales.
with fishing poles.
I don't think that's a real thing.
We can just go club seals, like the old Newfoundlanders used to do.
Yeah.
We can just go club seals.
That'd be fun.
Hashtag LOL.
Yeah, I'll be looking at the first one, like, oh, he's so cute.
And then I'll
Start
walk up
petting
behind
him.
you and just be like,
So I'll start crying and it'll be
Yeah.
over.
yeah, you do cry a lot.
Only in the shower.
Only when I'm alone. Little do you know I'm looking in through your window. He's so sad.
That's
me
why I
hug
feel creepy all the time. It's like, why do I feel so uncomfortable
You
right
wake up
now?
in the night and you see this little red glowing ember in the corner, and you hear this.
Yeah, it's just me over.
Go back to sleep, Jordan. There's nobody
I get a
here.
cold shiver.
Yeah. I just stick my cold feet on you.
Oh. Now I'm gonna have nightmares.
Well, that was good.
What else did we want to talk about?
I'm good. Anything in your guy? That's all I had. Like, not even prepared for today. That was all off the top of my head. So
Yeah, there's a few other things I wanted to
I mean, we can go for another
be
10 minutes.
frustrated with, but we could always save that for another.
Well, we
another
can
day.
go for another 10 minutes.
We were frustrated about whale eating in the Arctic. Is that what we were frustrated about?
No, I was frustrated about the misconceptions for fat because I was looking at like even the Cheerios commercial. It's just carbohydrates, like that is, and fiber. So
Part of a complete breakfast.
yeah, healthy heart. You just ate some sugar.
Yeah, and the other thing related to that is on everything now, including bag of chips or cereal, no matter what you get, always something always positive on the outside. Oh, it's zero trans fats, or it's gluten free, or it's all these things, and it's garbage.
Yeah.
Everything is junk food,
Yeah,
and they're still trying to
what
play
my
it off as healthy.
my absolute favorite is when you see like salad dressing or something like that, and it's like half the fat of our regular brand. And then you look at and you compare them, and it's like, oh, this one had 2 grams of fat. This one has 1 gram of fat. Like, there's no fat in it anyway.
Yeah, there's
But
just,
if you say half the fat,
people are like, oh,
it's a
and then
marketing
charge an
play.
extra $1 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I was watching a YouTube or a Facebook post too, where a guy was talking about, speaking of despicable things that companies do, is let's say you have a jar of peanut butter. If I go to the store and the next day the jar of peanut butter is like 10% more, it's going to frustrate you. You're probably not going to buy it. You're going to look for another brand. So what they do is rather than making the jar 10% more expensive, they make the jar 10% smaller. So the jars, like different food containers, get smaller and smaller and smaller over time, but they cost the same.
They charge the same amount of money.
Yeah, so inflation shows itself as the same price but less product.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know every time, and nobody picks up on that more than my wife. She's always looking at price per grams or price per
Yep.
weight of food, and she's like, "This is a ripoff." Back in this time, you used to get this much more, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, back in the 2000s,
Back in 2000s,
like 10 years ago.
Were you going to finish that point? Or?
No, there was
those
two
walk uphill
jokes.
both ways in the snow.
Yeah, there was 2 jokes there. One was that back in the day, like
I know.
we used to get
So we're
stuff
old now?
cheaper. And the other joke was back in the day in the 2000s, like that the 2000s is like that far.
I know
back.
10 years ago
How come
you
they
were
don't do that with houses? How come houses stay the same price? You just get smaller houses.
They do.
They do.
But
Well,
you always
that's not
look
true,
at
actually.
Oh, my
No,
house went up
That's
this
just
much.
in the 40s or 50s were pretty small.
No, but like, okay, like I bought my house. My house was built in 81,
Right.
right? It was 1,400 square, or
It was
1,490,
built
whatever.
before you were born.
It was built. It's old as balls.
Older than your balls.
Yes. Wait, like 8 years older.
Mine too.
And mine.
Not you. We all know you're 47.
I look great, doesn't I?
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Oh, that's all that whale I've been eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 10 years ago. Okay. Wah. 10 years ago, I was just getting out of school. But like 10 years ago for my kids didn't exist. I have kids.
It was weird for me is I can remember a time in my childhood where my dad was my age than I am now. That's weird to me.
Yeah, me too.
When you can, you're the same age that you can remember your parents at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange.
It's like
Yeah.
real trippy.
That is weird.
Like when my dad turned 30, it was like a hard birthday for him. It was like really mentally like, oh, I'm getting old type of thing. And I'm going to be turning 32 next month. I'm like, wow.
But you know what? By the time we're all in our 70s, they're going to have stem cell research, and we're going to live till we're 900.
Yep.
Is the podcast over?
And the podcast is over.
Camera's
The
gone.
camera got tired
gone.
of hearing
Yeah,
this.
apparently it was an SD card error, so there could be some corrupted footage on that. And so I'm going to put on YouTube what I can and then just let the audio run and add an end to it. But I guess we can keep going with the audio.
Oh, let's cut the audio.
Let's cut the audio.
It's been a great
This
week.
is how we terribly end a podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, yeah. This was the Grumpy Young Man podcast.
Tune in next week to hear some really funny stories about...
I don't know. That was the only idea I've ever had.
We make this up as we go along.
Whale poop.
Whale. Okay, we're going from whale fat to whale poop.
Yeah. Everybody's got poop stories. Everybody poops. You got it on the t-shirt.
That's true. On Mark Bell's Powercast, whatever guest they have on, male or female, they always make them start off with a poop story.
Poop story, like a bad wiping story.
Yep.
Wipe gone wrong or something like
Wipe
that.
gone wrong.
Finger right
Yep.
through the toilet paper.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the worst, where you got to check your fingernails to make sure you're okay.
Well, that's why you should bite your fingernails so you don't
After. Clean it up.
bite your fingernails after you get poop on them.
Well, yeah, what else? How else you gonna get out from underneath your
So
fingernail?
use your
gotta
mouth to get
you just
poop
gotta
out?
chew it up. That way you don't have to wash your hands after.
I'm sorry we went from a scientific debate on carbohydrates to cleaning poop from our fingernails with our teeth.
We literally had this conversation at work this morning, waiting to go home. We were like all standing around. We was talking about wipe stories and how the different types of poop, and we were trying to gross another guy out. It was the exact same
Did
conversation.
he get grossed out?
He did.
That's
He-
the
he-
best.
He had to like almost puke and run away, like he was gagging.
Okay, all right. We're going to cut it off here. Thank you for listening. This is the Grumpy Young Man podcast. I am Chris.
Malcolm.
And Jordan.
All right, let's beatbox it out, Malcolm. I don't know what my name is. I didn't have the next line. Okay, bye.